The next 2 days rushed by in a blur altogether, leaving a collective mess of work suddenly piling up and new unexpected acquaintances. Or friends. Depending on how you look at it, really. Either way, I'm stuck developing these photos at 3 in the morning to reach a deadline set by an overeager art director. Don't get me wrong, Julius is good, has a vision, and knows what he wants, but damn, he can be too enthusiastic. Alright, so I have no clue what's going on. Everything just wants to be a complete crap show and keeps messing up as I even my skin tone. I'm so close to just pulling money from a fund and being like, new computer, new everything. Hi, boo-boo. We're not playing ball in this room. So we're gonna try to get a little further, see if any more frames drop. If they drop, well, shit. I guess I'll have to do this, at least to finish a chapter on my own time. Okay, so... Okay. At least it gave me time to eat some lunch. Don't get me wrong, Julius is good, has a vision and knows what he wants, but damn, he can be too enthusiastic sometimes.
Doesn't matter when you couldn't sleep anyway.
There's nothing new in it, of course. After years of working as a freelance photographer, it's simply something I've grown used to. Get to know people, build a client base, do good work, and cash in some late hours if need be. Rinse and repeat. It certainly takes a while to get some footing in the field, but it's the kind of thing that pays off in the long run as long as you keep at it. Given enough time, you might end up with big names on your client list. Names like the Wrights in particular. I never did pay much attention to them, but it's virtually impossible not to hear about them when a local news channel or paper has something to say on their name. A party here, an acquisition there. Sometimes it's a new business venture, other times it's like everyday gossip that typically follows unpopular people popular people like them. They are so popular. Not in a million years did I ever imagine I would end up working for such a high-profile couple. And between that and the fuss that comes with it, it leaves me no time to ponder over whatever happened to Isabella, or why Ash is so adamant we keep away from the pair.
They do seem like the good folk, though, despite the whole fame thing.
Sure, there was a rumor running around years ago about him being involved in some business scandal. But just like every gossip blown out of proportion by media, nothing came of it, and eventually it simply died down. Much is definitely left to be said for the husband about it, but I doubt a woman like Miss Wright would pick him if he doesn't have a good point at all. Miss Wright. Hannah herself, though. She ain't particularly bad the way the press makes her out to be. The tabloids had it all wrong, that's for sure. For someone born with a silver spoon in her mouth, well, she ain't exactly what I was expecting. Among other things, the newfound friendship is what I least expected from her. But here we are. Although with a life as public as the Wrights, no wonder it's the woman who often gets the crappy end of the stick. I can't help but feel sorry for her. She's a real nice person when given the chance. Heck, she might have even ended up friends with Rebecca and Isabella too, if they weren't living worlds apart. Probably. The week quickly pulls me back from my thoughts travel any further. In one practiced motion, I carefully place the wet print I'm holding on a drying rack and amble over my makeshift dark room to get the last photos from the water bath. Inside the converted broom, this is gonna be like some damn scene from the Grudge or something. Coming out of the freaking photo baths. Inside the converted broom closet, the film processor lets out another soft clack before going on its standby mode. At its mouth, a lone photograph sits on the tray, barely visible with the lack of light. It's the last one tonight for the set Miss Wright requested. You don't usually make this a habit, giving away stuff, that is. It's bad for business no matter how well-intentioned or generous you are. This exception, however. She did treat me well and was a pleasant companion all throughout the shoot. Even if she didn't ask, I would have probably given her a few prints just for the hell of it. Miss Wright ain't such a bad subject matter to begin with. And maybe this is just me, but for someone who has everything at the palm of her hands, all the money in the world, a loving husband, and a plenty big mansion to call home, she's lonely. She doesn't just appear like it. It shows in the tone of her voice, how she moves, and most certainly in her smiles. Always hidden behind the glamour of the world you never see. Sometimes for people like her, small things like these help. A little reminder that the world can be kind too. Water drips from the paper as I blindly pick it up and gently lay it down on another tray, holding a decent amount of photo flow. A few seconds under the solution is all it needs before it's ready for drying. No good rushing this last one, even if my body's already screaming for some decent snooze. My hand fumbles for the light switch, moving towards it with familiarity while I fish for the spongy among the mess of tools in the drawer with the other. The bulb flickers twice before it glows. I'm just waiting now for the ghost to pop out. Its glow settles and casts a soft light in the tiny space. When I glance back down, squeegee in hand, ready to finish the process, finally call it a night.
What on earth?
Her head is gone. Blurred and distorted beyond recognition, rather. The area completely smudged over, leaving no trace of the same sweet smell the good woman carried in all the previous prints.
Damn, that was too careless.
A common mistake to make, of course, if one is negligent enough to pick a newly processed photo in the dark, likely I apparently did. It has happened before, loads of times actually, but still can't help but feel a small pang of frustration over one mistake a newbie would likely make. With a sigh, I reached up for the switch again, intending to develop a new one from scratch.
It could pass off for one of those supernatural pictures they show on TV, though.
Yeah. A memory clicks, one cursory thought in the sea of many. And a short yet distinctive second from the day before. A glimpse is all I got, but it's enough to burn the image in my mind. There was a shadow. No. A woman. In her 20s or 30s, maybe? But with how far gone her flesh alone has become, it's not possible to tell at first glance. The skin itself has already taken a sickly pale color, rotten in most parts, blood dripping from every open gash and lesion on her body. Bony hands grip Miss Wright's neck like a noose, staining the skin underneath with a vibrant shade of scarlet. Nothing but malice fills the gleam in her eyes. Not for me. But for Miss Wright.
Zach, is something the matter?
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something, that's all. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
Ma'am? 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 My lady? Burr? No. Put your devil ears away. We're good. You can put your devil ears away. Stop. You're good. The memory alone is enough to make me retch. I brushed it off then. A trick of the eye, I told myself, or a product of the heat. The weather has been unexpectedly warm recently, so it shouldn't be too surprising for such things to happen. And, well, blaming this on the usual, fatigue, an overworked brain, or weather, or an amateur error on my part, is far more convenient. It makes a whole lot of sense. You done, babe? It makes a whole lot of sense. It makes a whole lot more sense than what the small voice... Sometimes this is me. Most times it's me. Sometimes it just feels like they wrote shit badly. The same tiny voice that only makes itself known when something's afoul. The same one that lent a curious ear to Isabella's worries about the mansion. With each second I spend staring at the photograph, the murmurs in my head only grow louder against my ears. Someone has to know. Well, it ain't gonna be Ash, because Ash don't believe shit. I don't have an explanation for what I saw yesterday yet, but when you've been there, seen something enough to raise the hairs on the back of your neck and leave you wanting to flee or hide, finding more solid proof than a person's smudge-off face on photos at least of my concerns. Ashton will undoubtedly give me flack for saying that, or even considering Isabella's words and those silly tales about the place. The guy is a skeptic through and through. It'll take more than my account for him to even give this a single thought. However, more than his opinion, it's Miss Wright I'm concerned about. Surely she must have felt something if those shows on TV are to be believed. I'm worse than I was earlier today. A touch of coldness in her neck, or maybe the feeling being watched. That's what often happens, ain't it? Outside, the sun is yet to rise. I've still got a few hours before dawn. Good enough time to mull over how I'll go about warning her. Plenty of space to check if I'll get the same result if I redo the process again. The film processor huns to life at my touch. The light switch gives off a soft click, and the darkness embraces the small closet again.
Somehow those urban legends don't sound
There's
so silly now.
something coming, and I know she's gonna show. She's gonna show up.